that last whole piece about ADUs was vetoed by the governor. So the only real piece here is that they defined moderate income as 120% of AMI. And I do think it's worth just looking at those numbers, because when we are talking about these different
Good afternoon. Are we on? Okay. I want to thank you all for joining us here today as we come together to ask for the community's help. We have a missing young Kent resident, a vulnerable young adult, NiAni Rashaad. She has been missing since Sunday evening, and we wanted to come together today to ask the community for help as we search for her. She was last seen near the Riverwood Apartments down in the valley here in Kent, and it's important that we get this message out so that we can bring her home. Joining us today are her mom and dad, and I'm going to ask her mom, Leanne, to come up and say a few words and make the ask to the community to help as we search for NiAni.
My daughter is missing, and I love her. She has a strong family who was behind her 100%, all over the world. We miss her joy, her laughter, her creativity. She is special and one of a kind. And she deserves to come home. She deserves to be with us. She deserves to grow and continue to love each person she encounters. She's special. She loves you from the bottom of her toes to the tip of her head. And she's not with us. She's coming home. And I'm asking everyone to be on the lookout. Pay attention. Provide us with details that we can use to find her, because we're going to find her. Determination is not just through my blood, it's through everyone she encounters and everyone she's ever touched and called a family member, a friend. She has a heart, and she will come home.
Thank you. I want to assure the family and friends and this entire community that the Kent Police Department is using every resource that we have to make sure that we find NiAni and bring her home. That is the most important thing. It is our number one priority at this point, and has been all the way through. So I'm going to call up Commander Hollis, and he's going to provide some details on what we've done so far in the search, and then how the community can help us bring NiAni home. Commander Hollis.
Thank you, Mayor. So since NiAni went missing on May the 30th, we've been working with our community members. Our officers have been out in the community looking for surveillance video from not only residents, but also the businesses that are along the route that she walked. We're asking that if there are any community members that have not spoken with police already, that may have video that reside either in the Riverwood apartment complex or the Signature Point apartment complex, specifically in those areas near the walking paths or along Russell Road, that they reach out to us. They can call our tip line at 253-856-5808, or they can send us an email at kpdtips@kentwa.gov. Some of the things that we've already been doing, we have partnered with Puget Sound Fire and requested that they bring their boat out to patrol the Green River to see if there was any sign of her along the riverbanks. Our bicycle unit has been checking out kind of homeless camps along the riverbanks, sending out flyers along some less beaten paths. And again, our officers have also been going out, getting tips from our businesses in the area and trying to get surveillance video from those businesses and also from residents that, along the path that NiAni had walked. we've consulted with King County Search and Rescue. Today we had Guardian One also kind of do a search over the areas which she may have walked, did an extended search along the Green River. But the biggest thing is we want any residents, again, who've seen her, maybe have any information, to please give us a call. We want to bring NiAni home to her family, and we want to bring her home safely. So please, if anyone has any information, we would definitely love to hear from you, if detectives have not already reached out and talked with you already. Any questions?
Yes, what apartment complex did you say that she was last seen by?
Yes, Riverwood Apartment Complex and Signature Point Apartment Complex. They're very close to each other. There are some walking paths that go between the two complexes and also along the Green River Trail. And we're hoping that anybody that might live and maybe have either Ring video or some type of surveillance video might be able to reach out to us if our detectives have not already reached out to them.
You said that this that NiAni has been missing since Sunday, so it's been that's happened. Has the investigation shifted or other departments been brought in to help with the search?
Right now, our department, we've shifted a lot of resources to help in this search. Obviously, it's not only going out and getting video and knocking on doors, but there's also a back end of trying to listen for the tips, listing all the tips that we get. We've notified our dispatch center, Valicom Communications. They're aware of the information. A question that does frequently come up is why no Amber Alert? And unfortunately, in this particular situation, NiAni does not meet the criteria that has been set by Washington State Patrol to issue an Amber Alert.
Just for what criteria would that be?
For that, you'd actually have to go to their website. I don't have that off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I'm sure this is, you put this out online, but can you describe what she looks like and something?
Yes. NiAni is 5'2". She's a black female. She was last seen wearing a curly wig, as you see in the picture. She normally has her hair cut short, but will sometimes wear different hairstyles. She had on a brown striped sweater and a black tank top underneath. She was wearing camouflage color shorts, and she also had a hologram color fanny pack that she carried with her. She does not have she doesn't have a cell phone or anything like that. So our hope is, again, that if anyone has seen her, that we're able to, that they call 911. She has been listed as a missing person, and so calling 911 if they see her will help get the tips to us, and then we'll be able to get her to her family.
What is the most important thing right now that, you were talking about tips, but just in general, what is the most important thing that the public needs to know right now about this search? So, there's some people that are like, maybe I saw something, or maybe I didn't, I don't know. Is it just kind of, even if somebody doesn't think it's
Yeah, so we want to get NiAni back home. That's why our mayor has been able to get our resources shifted so that we can start manning our tip lines, so that we can comb over all the tips that we do get. Every tip that we get is very important for us to try and locate her and to get her back to her family. So even if there's community members that don't believe that it's they think that maybe it was just not a big deal, or maybe I saw her, maybe I didn't, just go ahead and call. Our detectives are waiting for those tips and are ready for those tips to come in so that we can continue with our investigation.
So definitely no tip would be a waste of your time.
Correct. Every tip that we can get will help us.
One other thing, and this might have already been mentioned previously, but I know I'm trying not to sound too coarse or anything, but what is really special about this is that the city all these resources into it?
Well, a missing person is special for each family. And we have to do the best that we can to try and make sure those family members come home. We have to shift resources. We do what we can. And so we try and do what we can for the family. And so that we can bring their, in this case, daughter home. Sometimes it's a son. We want to make sure that those family members are able to get back and be reunited. So on Sunday night, she had just finished watching a movie with a friend of hers, and she was walking back home. If there are no other questions, I'll hand it back to the mayor for some last comments.
Thank you, Commander. My plea to the community is that you help us bring her home. She is a beloved family member and friend and member of this community, and I know that the love and dedication of this place is going to do everything they can to bring NiAni home to her family and to her friends. It's really important. Take some time to stop and think about if you've seen her, if you know anyone that may have seen her. And as was said earlier, no tip is too small. It's all part of the puzzle as we put it together to make sure that we can do everything we can to bring her home. You heard her mom talk about her power and her strength and her love and her smile, and she needs to be reunited with her family. So thank you for taking the time today. You can find all of this information on our social media pages. Please call in or email with your tips, and let's do everything we can to bring her home. Thank you.